Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Comet. It's the Tier 7 British medium tank. It's located on the northeast spawn of Westfield, and this one is under the command of SlyMeerkat. And alongside him in the King Tiger captured is Omen and Rage. Game on. Well, the Comet is a further development of the Cromwell. Still has the Meteor engine driving it, and they started building them in 1944 and continued until late 1945. Built 1,186 of them in total. Now it's got an 76.2mm gun, which is similar caliber, or same caliber as the 17-pounder, but it's actually got a lower muzzle velocity than the proper 17-pounder gun. But it's still very capable, and you can see that the Sly's managed to get all premium ammo in this one. 140 alpha, 208mm of pen with a premium. With the standard he'd have 148, but he's trying to get his third mark, and it's hyper important that you get every shot to count if you're working your way up to that third mark. So he's got 3 shots on target and some nice damage on the Tiger 1. Making it an early start because he's got to do a lot of damage to keep that average very, very high. He's staying in cover for the moment. Let his teammates keep the other ones down. Another shot into that Tiger. Now it's got a very fast rate of fire and accuracy on this 17-pounder. Excellent gun depression as well, 12 degrees of gun depression on the Comet, which is why a lot of players love it, because when you're working a ridgeline it's very difficult for the enemy to get shots on target, simply because you can actually depress your gun so much. It's much taller than the Cromwell. You can see that if you ever get to the tank museum and actually see the Comet there, you can actually, well, it's visible the difference in height. And that does make a difference because, of course, tall tanks actually have a tall turret roof. Oh, that Progetto tried to go down into the valley, and unfortunately for him, it meant that he actually got vulnerable. But SlyMeerkat doesn't want to make himself vulnerable as well, but he's got a Leo. One shot, can he get the kill? No, he didn't get the kill, but he did get some nice damage, and the Leo goes down to the AMX 1375. Just making himself some cover here for the moment, because there might, oh, there is some enemy tanks just up ahead. In fact, I just saw one in the bushes as well. He's going to hit the Borsig. One in. Takes a lot of shells to take them down, but you can collect a nice bit of damage, and he does get the kill on the Borsig, because one of his teammates also fired in from a different direction at the same time. The reload time by the book is 3.74 seconds. He's got it down to 2.97. So you can see how the DPM is really high. And with those premium rounds, he should be able to punch through the armor very, very quickly. He's now got the reverse side of those enemies on the rear sloper, but he's got a Chi-Ri very close to him. I'm not sure if he knows how close he is to that Chi-Ri. He's not within detection range, but it won't take long for the Chi-Ri to realise he needs to pop up and stop Sly, or Sly will do extreme damage to these enemy tanks. Oh, just over the top of the Tiger turret. Just missed out there. He has been spotted now, so he has to pull back a bit, because otherwise that Chi-Ri and the Progetto are going to do a lot. Yep. He wants to push forward though, because the enemy are now down to, well, they're down by 7 tanks, and so he can have a major effect upon the battle. He's already up to 1,790 hit points. Now is his chance to take out the Progetto and the Chi-Ri. It's going to take him a few shots, but with his DPM he should be able to, and he's fixing on that Progetto because it's a 90mm gun. Gets him. Chi-Ri now, he's really ignoring Sly, and that's a bad move, because Sly with his DPM will literally just tear him apart. Oh, what happened there? Well, he did take one round from the Chi-Ri. He's firing blindly over the other side. There's only two enemies left. The Skoda and the Super Hellcat. And he's trying to get the Skoda, but the Skoda just hit him with one round. Remember, that thing carries two. He hits him with the second one and now makes him a one shot. But the Skoda's in reload. He's gone. And that means the Super Hellcat's the last enemy tank. And he's gone. And that's victory. He's happy. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a third mark game. Yes, he not only got an ace tanker in the game, he got his third mark on the Comet. Very well done. Congratulations to SlyMeerkat. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He managed to get 6. He also got 11 Slayers medals. He took down 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers, which are at least 1 tier higher. And well, he got the Progetto there, and that was tier 8, as well as the Borsig. And he got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. His win rate was very high as well, 7,945 Super Unicum and a lot more. And he needed it to get that third mark of excellence on his Comet. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. Actually, that went to the Skoda T56 on his own team with 3,398 hit points. And the second highest damage went to Sly with 3,143. He was using that DPM to maximize his output. The third highest damage in the game went to the Super Hellcat on the enemy team, 3,020. And you can see that Skoda that actually hit Sly towards the end of the game. Yeah, he collected a lot of hit points from Sly because I think it was over 900 hit points was earned by him from that 2 shots that he played right at the end. When it came to kills, he shared the top spot with the AMX 1375 in his Omen Enraged in the King Tiger capture. They all got 3 kills apiece. So between them, they took out 3/5 of the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, yep, he's got the top in that one, 1,363, because he was not only damaging the enemy tanks and lots of them, he was also spotting them for his team, and that was enabling them to get damage, which of course helped Sly because then he got the assist. 1,202 went to the AMX 1375, and the Skoda managed to get 1,163. Sly fired 33 rounds in that game, got 27 direct hits on the enemy and 23 penetrations. Damage of 3,143 hit points in total, of which 1,522 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy. I'm afraid all 3 were penetrations. 2 of those were from the Skoda, the other one from the Chi-Ri. The Skoda ones were the more damaging ones. The Chi-Ri really ignored him, and he shouldn't have done that. Both him and the Progetto should have turned around and tried to get rid of Sly as quickly as possible, because the DPM on that 17-pounder gun is so damaging. It's almost like the E25, the Cockroach, when it comes to doing damage. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 1,491 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 52,703 credits from the game, but he did use a lot of premium ammo, and it is expensive on this tank, which means that he ended up with a loss of 66,034 credits, but he won't be worried about that in the slightest, because now he's third marked it. He won't need to put premium ammo in it again, and now he can make a profit off it. 2,044 XP and no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. Here are the modules, or the armor first for the Comet, and we can see that it's actually, unlike the Cromwell, which actually has fairly weak armor, this one actually does have reasonably good. It does have that slab-sided front, which I think disappointed a lot of tankers who came out of the desert rats, out of the desert, and they saw the Cromwells and thought, haven't you been listening to what we were saying? Because it has got an angle front plate on the Comet, which enables some of the shells to at least bounce off the front, but that slab-sided area makes an easy target for enemy tanks if they do spot a Comet and he's stopped to take a shot. So yeah, that's what the tankers didn't like, but you can see it's fairly thick. It's 76.2 millimeters. The upper plate is 31.8, but angles out at 44. We can see that the front area there, 63.5, coming out at 70. The mantlet is very, very strong indeed. Well, strong for a medium tank, actually, I would say, but not strong for a heavy tank. And you can see it's difficult to penetrate the front of this vehicle, mainly because the armor is so strong, but it's actually nicely, as you can see, if you can see it from above, it's very difficult to actually get around through the front of the turret, but you can get a shot through the sides because the sides of the vehicle, 44.5, sides of the turret, 63. So it is possible to penetrate this with standard rounds. And again, you can see at the rear of the tank, 31.8 coming out 33, rear of the turret, 57. Top of the turret and top of the engine deck is very thin, 14 millimeters. So Arty should be able to penetrate the top of this tank, no problem at all. So armor-wise, yes, it's fairly easy to pen, but there are some strong points. And remember, if it's got 12 degrees of gun depression, it's going to be very difficult to hit anywhere on the turret if he's hull down. So that's the idea, really, to operate this tank in a hull down position with 12 degrees and not to let the enemy get any penetration. In fact, the enemy can only really penetrate in the hull down position through that cupola, which is fairly visible. 44.5 millimeters should be able to get through that. So if you are seeing a Comet and you're seeing his little turret pop up above a ridge line, go for the cupola and you should be able to take him out. We look at the modules. Okay, with the modules, we've got the driver on the left-hand side. Obviously, it's a British tank. You expect to have the driver on the left-hand side. He's got a gunner's mate or machine gunner stroke radio operator on his right. Behind him, yeah, it's the radio operator. Behind him, he's got the gunner. And behind him is the tank commander. They're on the opposite side to where they would normally be, because you'd normally have them over the other side, but you can see that's where that cupola is, and the loader is on the left hand side of the vehicle as we are looking at it. There's two big ammo racks, one directly behind the driver, that's the long store, and then we've got the ready rack is actually just behind the loader down below in the hull, not in the bustle of the turret. The bustle of the turret has that radio, and at the back we've got the engine, the Meteor engine, shielded by two fuel tanks and a transmission coming out from behind them. So if you want to get an ammo rack on this one, you have to aim for the hull of the Comet, and that's difficult if they're in the hull down position. So you're not really going to get a module hit to make it go bang if you aim just at the turret. But if you can aim at the hull, even if it's side scraping, you shouldn't really side scrape in this tank, really. But if you are on a side scrape, or if you can see the hull, aim for the hull, because there's two ammo racks there that you might be able to hit and take him out. So that's where the modules are on the Comet. So congratulations to SlyMeerkat for getting his third mark and ace tanker on the Comet. Very, very nicely done. I'm sure we'll be seeing him in another tank very shortly, third marking that one. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.